In this WrestleTalk news, the real reason Austin Theory lost his Money in the Bank, an update on John Cena at WrestleMania, the latest on the relationship between CM Punk and Colt Cabana, and more.
Support WrestleTalk!
Monday's Raw saw the return of Mia Yim, The Miz get caught on tape admitting to paying off Dexter Lumis, and a reference to Miz Dad. But perhaps the biggest news of all was Nikki Cross missed the bin when she tried to get rid of the 24/7 title. Seriously, you couldn't do another take of that? Cross won the 24/7 championship from Dana Brooke in a very heatless affair, though that was not unique to that match with this Raw crowd that totally sucked. And in a backstage segment was seen walking with damage control with the title on her shoulder, with the intention she would then throw it into the most massive bin you ever did see. Only she quite hilariously missed it, and it bounced off the rim and fell to the floor. While Dana Brooke was very mad about all of this on her Twitter, check out Pete and I discussing that news on the WrestleTalk Reacts from yesterday, others found the humor in it. With Cross's husband and former WWE star Big Damo revealing the real reason Nikki missed the bin was she never played basketball, I don't know what to tell you. Cross herself replied, for some reason the WNBA denied my application. Thinking face emoji. But of course the biggest news from the night was that Austin Theory cashed in his Money in the Bank contract to target a prone Seth Rollins and challenge him for the United States Championship. Not only is this the first time a wrestler has used the briefcase to cash in on anything other than a world title, Theory becomes the fourth man to fail his cash-in attempt. One of those other men even reached out to Theory on Twitter, with Baron Corbin posting, "Hey Theory, welcome to the club. We're a special group led by John Cena. I'd like to thank image gatherer and moderator extraordinaire Brandon for getting that image because Baron Corbin blocked me on Twitter years ago. Yum yum, come get you some indeed." Austin Theory himself posted on Twitter, "I'll never stop, and that's all day." Rocket emoji. Don't think I've ever seen anyone actually use the rocket emoji. The booking decision was a controversial one among wrestling fans. While it did have its defenders online, many felt the decision logically didn't make a lot of sense and made Austin Theory look quite foolish. In their post-show review, Fightful even noted that it felt like an utter burial of poor Austin Theory, a man who was once handpicked to be the next big star of WWE by Vince McMahon prior to his retirement. If you can believe it, Theory only had the Money in the Bank briefcase for 4 months, and WrestleVotes had said on Give Me Sport that there had been an idea on the table for Theory to hold onto the briefcase until Money in the Bank next year. The storyline being that Theory would only have a few hours remaining on his contract during the show to cash in or lose the opportunity. But just 14 days after WrestleVotes revealed that plan, Theory cashed in and lost. Theory losing his Money in the Bank, coupled with the removal of the 24/7 championship, though the belt is still listed as active on WWE.com, meant that the final hour of Raw felt like Triple H getting rid of the last remnants of Vince McMahon's booking of WWE. However, according to a new report, that isn't the case at all. There's no heat on Austin Theory, and the show caused excitement from the producers. And there's even more to this report, so, if you're enjoying this video, have you considered pressing the subscribe button? We post daily wrestling news videos, sometimes even twice a day, so get on board! No, wait, that's a different channel. Anyway, back to Austin Theory. According to Ringside News, so do take this with a pinch of salt as they have been shown to be unreliable in the past, but not always. The decision to take Money in the Bank off Austin Theory was to put him in a position where he could feud with Seth Rollins, who is now being positioned as the top babyface of Raw. Not only that, but he's now also in the mix with Bobby Lashley, who, according to a member of the WWE creative team, has been positioned as the one man who can beat up Brock Lesnar at will. While there were those who felt this was a burial of Austin Theory, Steve Carrier of Ringside News was assured by a WWE writer that Theory is better off today than he has been since Vince retired, and that he's not being written out of main event storylines. Instead, he's now right in the middle of it. The theory, if you'll pardon the pun, is that having Money in the Bank when Roman Reigns is the champion who won't be losing his belt anytime soon meant that Austin Theory was in a difficult position. Now that he doesn't have the briefcase, WWE can place Theory in a position where he needs to be. What do you think of Austin Theory cashing in his Money in the Bank unsuccessfully? Do you think it was the right time to do it, or should he have held on to it longer? Let me know in the comments down below. Sadly, the tease of Seth Rollins defending his United States Championship in an open challenge, the binning of the 24/7 title, and Austin Theory's cash-in didn't help Raw's ratings in any massive way. This week's Raw did see a bump in the ratings after last week's Halloween lows, but it was well below what it has been doing this season against football, according to Figure 4 Online. The show drew 1.59 million viewers, and while that is up from the previous week, it's considered a failure because it's coming off the back of a pay-per-view, and Monday Night Football did its lowest numbers of the season against it. And even with those teasers of a Rollins title defense, there was an 18% drop from the first to third hour, with the final 60 minutes of the show only drawing 1.41 million viewers. Perhaps most shockingly is there was a huge 19% drop in the over 50s demographic, which is a key one for WWE as most of their audience is over 50. There was also a 26% drop in women aged 18 to 49 and a 10% drop in men in the same age demographic. But ratings for WWE will always drop around this time due to that football season. But don't worry folks, WrestleMania season will be with us soon, and you know what that means? The part-timers are coming back! Perhaps most unsurprisingly of all is that Brock Lesnar's face has been spotted on the new WWE production trucks for WrestleMania 39, which also feature Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Seth Rollins. So this means Brock will be wrestling at WrestleMania. Previous reports had also clarified that the plan is still to go ahead, with Roman Reigns defending his Universal Championship against The Rock in the main event. But there's yet another part-timer who's being rumored for WrestleMania. According to WrestleVotes via Give Me Sport, John Cena will be at next year's WrestleMania when it lands in Hollywood. With The Rock being rumored for the main event, it also makes sense that one of the other big wrestling Hollywood stars would be on the show. But WrestleVotes aren't just claiming that John Cena will be at the show, they're saying he'll be wrestling at WrestleMania. There had been some speculation that Cena would feature less and less in WWE following the retirement of Vince McMahon, but WrestleVotes have said, I know he touches base every so often, and although Vince is out of the picture, Cena still has a love for this place. John Cena and Triple H have a lot of respect for each other. Who would you like to see John Cena wrestle at WrestleMania? Let me know in the comments down below. But before we get to WrestleMania, we've got War Games coming our way. Dang it, I did it wrong again. Let me have another crack at that. War Games! Thank you for your support on Patreon, Chris the Cypriot Sensation Patru, and He's No Jackass Dano. Get your own Patreon shoutouts over at patreon.com/WrestleTalk. In just a few weeks' time, and for the first time ever on a main roster show, WWE will present 2 War Games matches at Survivor Series. While the men's match has yet to be revealed, WWE did announce on Raw that the women's match will see Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka, with 2 TBA partners, take on Damage Control, Nikki Cross, and 1 other TBA. It's been speculated that Candice LeRae and Dana Brooke will join Belair's team, but there's also fan speculation that this is where we'll see the returns of Naomi and Sasha Banks. What we do know, at least according to Brian Alvarez, is that WWE has some big plans for the show. He posted to his super followers on Twitter that WWE had craziness planned for Survivor Series and War Games. The reason for this being is that all of the modern day footage WWE have of War Games are from NXT, so WWE need big main roster footage for future video packages when they do War Games matches down the line. And taking a step back, WWE also touted the success of Crown Jewel 2022 in internal memo recently, saying it was the most watched international pay-per-view in company history. But we want to extend our thanks to you, the wonderful viewers of our channels. We donated all of your Ultra Chat money from our Crown Jewel live reactions on the WrestleTalk podcast channel to Sami for Syria, and you raised nearly $600. Thank you so much. You're all wonderfully oozy, and we've topped up those donations to $1,000, which will be donated straight to Sami for Syria. Thank you again, WrestleTalk viewers. You all rule. So yeah, I guess that's it for today's WrestleTalk news video. You know, subscribe and all that. Sorry, what's that? We've got a whole news video without talking about CM Punk. Probably should change that then. It would appear that the relationship between CM Punk and AEW is effectively done. The internal investigation into the fight that happened after All Out has now been completed, and we can safely assume that it fell in favor of the Elite, who have been teased for their return on TV over the last couple of weeks. Not only that, but Colt Cabana made his return to AEW TV on last week's show in a losing effort to Chris Jericho in his feud against former Ring of Honor champions. Cabana had been off TV for a while, which had been rumored to be a request of CM Punk Punk following the pair's fractured relationship. Punk's campers denied these rumors, and they were actually the catalyst for his rant at the All Out press conference that led to the backstage fight. It is sort of funny to note that the reason Cabana could accept Jericho's challenge of former Ring of Honor champion is that he's a former Ring of Honor tag champ with CM Punk. Awkward. There had been rumors for some time that there was a lot of backstage uneasiness between Punk and Cabana after the two fell out following WWE's Chris Mann suing Punk over an interview he did on Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast. Speaking of this tension on his Keeping It 100 podcast, Conan also shed some light on what Cabana and Punk's interactions were like behind the scenes at AEW. He said, "When I saw Colt Cabana backstage, I remember asking him, 'So what's up with you now that Punk is back?' He was like, 'Yeah man, we're not really talking.' I go, 'Come on dude, after all these years, you guys were boys.' He said, 'Yeah man, he just won't talk to me.' This conversation, according to Conan, took place shortly after Punk joined AEW last summer. He added, 'Now when I look back, he knew that he was probably going to get the axe from Punk somehow, or Tony did it to make Punk happy, or Punk asked him. Because now when I think back to that day, I remember telling him, bro, you can't even sit down and just say, hey, let's just reset our relationship.' He said, 'Nah man, he won't even talk to me.'"
In this WrestleTalk news, a top star is suspended, Braun Strowman can't stop tweeting, Luke's review of Raw, and more.